Welcome back to the Book Bros. I'm one of your Book Bros. My name is Stefan. Today we're talking about Global Lord 100% Drop Rate by a Green Bird. For a quick synopsis of this novel, the Supreme Will takes a bunch of races and puts them in different solar systems where the Supreme Will gives them powers for kingdom building type purposes. And our main character, Zhao Zhao, his Lord power is 100% drop rate, as there is a bunch of monsters around that, like in MMOs, drop stuff. So you can imagine where that's going. For my thoughts on this novel, I got hooked on this novel very, very quickly. It is very fast paced. It hooks your attention almost immediately. The characters in this novel are really good, and just the concept of 100% drop rate when there's very low percentages for other things to drop from these monsters that just help you build a kingdom is just so cool. And just the concepts that the author puts in for keeping your attention and the flow of the book is just spot on, I say. For the plot of this novel, it is, like I said, very fast paced. It is, the main character will feel like a very overpowered character at the beginning, because with 100% drop rate, he's literally getting everything that a monster can get. So he grows very, very quickly. But even still, with the way that the author puts him, and the things that the author puts in his way, and the pace just keeps it on point. A very solid, I think, 5 out of 5 for plot. It just hooked me immediately, and just hooked me all until I'm on chapter 300 and something. So it just immediately hooked me. For subplots, there's not a lot of subplots, because one of the main things is I'm on chapter 300 and something right now, and I think he's only been there maybe 2 months on this planet. So there's some subplots. There's a kingdom beside him, a kingdom beside him subplot. There's some love interest maybe subplots. I'm not entirely sure where that's going. So there's mini subplots that aren't very detrimental to the overall plot at the moment. So for subplots, I would give it a 4 out of 5. The subplots that are there are pretty interesting, but there's not a lot. For character development, I feel the side characters get more character development as they've lived on the planet longer and understand the rules more. But our main character, like I said, has only been there, I think, 2 months in chapter 300 and something. So the only character development that he's getting is that he's more of a ruler mindset and more of a lord mindset than just a plain old Joe on a planet that he got taken from. So for character development, kind of slow. There's not much. Time-wise in the book, there hasn't been that much time. So I would give it a 3 out of 5. Just because the side characters get some pretty good character development, I feel, in those 2 months. For the writing and translation, it's pretty good for overall. The only gripe I have about the writing and translation of this novel is that the genders of the characters get mixed up. The pronouns get mixed up very, very often. It's sometimes makes it hard to read, especially when you're introduced to a new character, and the pronouns keep switching between she and her and he and him. And with the Chinese names, I'm not entirely sure the pronouns for those names. So for me, it's really hard to understand until it gets set in stone where the character is described and what they look like. Then you get the actual gender of that character, but it still flip-flops all the time, and it's really hard to read sometimes, and gets really confusing, because all of a sudden you might be thinking that you're talking to this one character, the pronoun switches, and you're thinking that they might be now talking to the character that came along with the other character, when they're not. They're still talking to that one character, just the pronoun all of a sudden is switched. So it's kind of hard to read in that. So I'll give the writing a 3 out of 5, just because that just makes it annoying to read. For foreshadowing and plot holes, foreshadowing is the typical sort of kingdom building where he starts in this small area, there's only kingdoms around him, the kingdoms aren't that big, but he hears about empires and different empires kilometers away, thousands of kilometers away, hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. And at some point that they're going to get there, and he's going to be either that size and have to deal with it, or go to those empires in general and deal with what's in those empires. So it's interesting to see. We'll see where that goes, especially with everything that's happening right now. So it'll be fun. Foreshadowing. That's really the only kind of foreshadowing around. It's just like, there's empires, empires, or the kingdoms around them. It's like, kingdoms. So I would say it's about 4 out of 5, because there's foreshadowing and pretty good, and I'm excited to see where it goes. For my final thoughts, it is a very good book. I feel like this is like a really good like staple that you would put other kingdom building MMO type novels up against. That's what I started doing, because this is one of the first ones I read in this type of genre, and I really, really enjoyed it. So all the other ones that I've read of this type of genre, I compare to this one, and I just hold it to that standard. It's very good. For my overall rating, definitely a 4 out of 5, or 4.5 out of 5, as there is some issues with translation, and that can be off-putting, probably to some people. Hope you enjoy watching. I'm back. New location. It's been a year, if anyone's still here, even remembers us, which I doubt. But subscribe down below if you like this. If you have some web novels that you want me to read, put them in the comments. If they have 100 chapters, I'll read them. Thanks for watching.